We welcome in the Hall of Famer Charles Barkley from Parts Unknown today on a Saturday afternoon. Chuck, I'll say good to hear your voice. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm assuming I'm going to hear it. It's good to speak to you. What's your reaction? Melo to OKC.
First of all, you guys know how to screw up a Saturday afternoon on the golf course.
Blame the Knicks.
Whoa.
Blame the Knicks and OKC.
That's not our fault, Charles. I was having fun with my kids.
Okay. Listen, man. I think it's a good trade for the Knicks. I'm a big Cantor fan. I like McDermott coming off the bench, but I think I like Cantor. I think he's one of the best low post scorers in the league. I think he gets a bad rap because people say he's not a great defender. There are been a lot of great players who haven't been great defenders, but he can flat out score. From Oklahoma City's perspective, I don't know how this deal is going to work out because you got three guys who need the ball, who are all terrific players. But I think the biggest thing that I would be concerned, how much noise is there going to be around this team? Because everybody in the room knows Paul George is probably going to leave after 1 year. And, that's been one of the things that's really been problematic for the NBA the last X amount of years. Like, all next year is going to talk about is LeBron leaving Cleveland. That's going to be the big elephant in the room. So I don't know how Westbrook, George, and Carmelo are going to work together. Carmelo's an offensive player, but the ball is going to be in Russell's and Paul George's hands. And if Paul George is going to be fully invested or he just wasting time until he leaves to go to L.A., I think that's a big deal. But like I say, from the Knicks perspective, I think they got a good player. But, man, this Oklahoma City thing, they got a lot of talent on paper, but there's a lot of question marks.
Well, Chuck, let me throw the counter argument at you in terms of Melo. We've seen him so good as a catch-and-shoot kind of player for USA basketball over the years. At the age of 33, at this point, obviously wanting to be on a contender, chasing a championship, don't you think he'd be more amenable to that sort of role?
That's a good question. You got to understand something. First of all, Russell Westbrook hasn't signed his deal yet. So you got to factor that in also. I mean, I'm surprised Russell hasn't signed his deal. Like I say, the big elephant in the room is Paul George. But are they as good as the Rockets or the Warriors? I don't know the answer to that question. But I will tell you this. In a 7-game series, you're going to probably have to score, which the Warriors can do, and probably the Rockets. You're going to have to score at least 115 points. Man, I just want to give a guy a compliment. Sam Presti, to me, might be the best GM in the NBA. The stuff he has done the last few years, number one, obviously getting Westbrook and those guys and Durant and Ibaka and everybody. But even when he loses to Durant, he makes the situation as best as he can. Then he goes out this summer and gets Paul George. Now he gets Carmelo. Sam Presti might be the best GM because he gets really good players and he don't give up a lot. I mean, he does a fantastic job.
And, Charles, I'm going to stick with that theme. With Sam Presti going out and making all these moves, does Russell Westbrook say, you know what, I want to sign this extension now because Sam has done all the things for me to say now I can go try to win a championship?
Man, I hope Russell stays there because Sam has done everything within his powers. I mean, think about it. There's not a single person who thought Paul George was going to end up there. There's not a single person who thought Carmelo was going to end up there. I take my hat off to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've done everything humanly possible to give Russell so he wasn't a one-man band. And they still have Steven Adams, who I think is probably one of the most underrated players in the NBA. But like I say, man, I just don't know. That's like I say, they want us to just guess all the time, and I hate that. I don't know how this James Harden and Chris Paul thing going to work out in Houston. Does it look good on paper? Yes, it looks good on paper. But D. Scott, we don't play basketball on paper. Like I say, but listen, I'm just going to give Oklahoma City a lot of credit to get a player like Carmelo. But listen, from the Knicks' perspective, I think they did great considering the situation they were in.
Chuck, just to backtrack a second here, you weren't one of the guys killing Sam Presti when he made the James Harden deal, were you?
Well, you got to understand something. I'm one of the guys who think everybody who killed Sam Presti for that deal don't know anything about basketball.
Okay, just making sure.
No. Let me make this point because D. Scott knows this. James Harden would have never been James Harden if he stayed in Oklahoma City. You know, that's the thing that people forget. They wasn't going to have three guys average 30 points a game, basically, if James Harden had stayed there. I actually thought, and first of all, you take away this too also, Matt, this is a team that should have won the NBA championship 2 years ago.
Right.
But letting James Harden go, to me, was a stroke of genius because he's a hell of a player, but he wouldn't have been a hell of a player if he had stayed in Oklahoma City because he would have never had the ball.
Hey, Chuck, before we let you go, I know you're aware that the president went on another tweet storm this morning, including what he described as a disinvitation to Steph Curry, who has expressed his desire to not attend any sort of White House ceremony to honor the champion Golden State Warriors. What do you make of this unprecedented back and forth between the sitting commander-in-chief and an NBA team?
Well, I think it's unfortunate. I think it's really unfortunate. I think that it's an honor and a privilege to go to the White House, no matter who the president is. It's an honor and privilege to go to the White House. And also, I thought it would have been an opportunity for those guys to sit down and talk to the president about some of the issues and concerns they had. You know, if I got a chance to sit with the president, I'd say, you know, we're all concerned about police brutality. I'm concerned about DACA. That would have been a chance to they could have negotiated a sit down instead of just coming there and do that informal stuff where he stands there and you get your jersey and everything. But it's unfortunate, and it's just really sad, to be honest with you, because it's an honor and a privilege when guys start not going to the White House because they don't like who the president is. I think that sets a bad precedent.
All right, Chuck, back to the course.
You know what? Because it's something you don't hear that often. Charles Barkley for birdie.
No, I wouldn't expect to hear that at all.
That, Charles.
Hey guys,
by the way,
thanks
last
for
time,
having me, guys.
Chuck, before I let you go, last time I spoke to you, you were on your way to work on your health. I saw a picture of you somewhere. You look fantastic. Where are we now in terms of the weight loss?
You know, man, I've lost 45 pounds.
Good for you.
Give a shout out to, I'll give a shout out to all my trainers who've been fantastic. You know, I just got fat and lazy, all on me when I got my new hips. I took the entire summer off. That's why you haven't seen me anywhere this summer. I've been working on my trainer 5 or 6 hours a day, and I'm down 45 pounds, and I feel great. But I'm not going to get fat again either. That's the main thing.
Well, good for you. Continued good health. Great to talk to you.
Take care of those hips. No dance floor. No dance floor. Leave those hips alone now.
Hey, listen, you don't have to worry about that.
All right, Charles Barkley with us.